If you'd like to read along, visit shahnamequest.substack.com for transcripts, illustrations, and bonus content. The story you're about to hear is one of the most pivotal and beloved in the entire Shahnameh. It is that of Kaveh the Blacksmith, who only features in this story and does not come back again later. But despite his brief appearance, Kaveh's impact creates a ripple effect, both in the entire epic and in the psyche of the Iranian people still to this day. But before we get into Kaveh's story, let's reorient ourselves as to what's happening in the world. We are still living in the tyrannical reign of Zahhak the Serpent King, and darkness and death loom everywhere. The young men of Iran are still being killed and having their brains fed to the snakes atop Zahhak's shoulders. Yet, despite this dominance by the evil spirit of Ahriman the devil, there is nevertheless a divine light and a growing hope among the people that the young boy Fereydoun, who has been in hiding away from Zahhak's armies, will be the one to topple and kill the Serpent King and restore good to the land. Zahhak, meanwhile, has continued his relentless pursuit to hunt down and kill Fereydoun. But as he becomes more aware of the growing dissent among the people, Zahhak decides to change tactics. It's not enough just to make Fereydoun an enemy. Zahhak has to also strengthen his position by attaining the love and loyalty of his people, by force if necessary. And he does so by having his courtiers draw up a contract for every person in the world to sign. The contract acts as both a pledge of allegiance to Zahhak and a testimony that he is the most gracious and generous ruler to have ever lived, and that nothing he has done has ever harmed or wronged any of the Iranian people. It's by this document and the coercive measures Zahhak takes to get people to sign it that he consolidates his power and loyalty. And so hope begins to dwindle again as more and more people subscribe to Zahhak's demands. And no man can summon the courage to challenge Zahhak the Serpent King, except one. A knock on the palace door echoes through the halls, and in storms Kaveh the Blacksmith. Kaveh comes in grieving anger at the injustice for having all but one of his sons killed and fed to Zahhak's snakes. He also comes in desperation for Zahhak to spare the life of his last living son, currently held in prison. In hearing Kaveh furiously plead his case, Zahhak spots an opportunity. If he could get Kaveh the Blacksmith, a beloved and respected member of his community, to sign his pledge of allegiance, then Zahhak's silencing of the people would be complete. And so Zahhak, much to the blacksmith's surprise, shows mercy and grace by freeing Kaveh's last son and sparing his life. And to seal the deal, as well as his grip on Kaveh's loyalty, Zahhak presents the blacksmith the contract to sign. But where all who came before him had succumbed to Zahhak's manipulation, Kaveh the blacksmith instead chooses to do the bravest thing anyone in the Shahnameh has ever done. After reading the contract, Kaveh lets out a battle cry. He tears the contract and tramples it. Then he takes his son's hand and the two charge out of Zahhak's palace together. Kaveh takes his message of freedom and justice to the streets, and in doing so lights the spark of rebellion that spreads like wildfire across the whole nation. To channel the people's anger into an organized movement, Kaveh takes off his leather blacksmith apron and hoists it onto a spear to give the rebellion a flag to unite around. He cries out that this flag is a symbol against Zahhak's tyranny, against Ahriman's evil, and loyalty to God and to the next good king of Iran, Fereydoun. And Kaveh leads the people on a march to find Fereydoun and fulfill the prophecy. But what has Fereydoun been doing all of this time? Well, after coming of age and reuniting with his mother, Fereydoun is told the whole story of how he narrowly escaped Zahhak's armies, and of all the people who sacrificed themselves to protect Fereydoun, including the sacred cow Barmaye. Upon learning all of this, Fereydoun becomes filled with rage and swears to avenge all of those who fell to protect him. But Fereydoun's mother pleads with him. The time is not ripe yet. Please, my son, don't do anything until there is a sign that the people are ready to be freed. Zahhak is too dangerous to take on your own. Be patient, and when the time comes, you'll know. And so, after years of waiting, Fereydoun finally feels the stars align when he sees Kaveh the Blacksmith holding up his blacksmith apron, being followed by thousands upon thousands of people ready to pledge their loyalty and their lives to fight for a good world. When Kaveh and the people see Fereydoun, they erupt into cheers and applause. Fereydoun graciously accepts the people's call to lead. Kaveh gives Fereydoun the leather apron, and Fereydoun leads a ceremony to turn the apron into the official flag for his future kingdom. Together, they paint the apron in yellow and red and purple to give it new life, and they put jewels on it so that it shines in the light. Lastly, they add an ornament to the top of the spear in the shape of a full moon. They name the flag Dirafsh Kavyani, or Kaveh's flag, as an enduring symbol of his role in leading this rebellion. And so, with the flag ready and the people mobilized, Fereydoun goes back to his mother Fereydoun, and he tells her that the moment has come. He is ready to fulfill his destiny and cast away the evil Zahhak. And through tears, Fereydoun gives her blessing to Fereydoun. With God's grace and everything he needs behind him, Fereydoun leads the people into battle. But can Zahhak, the monstrous Serpent King who's reigned for 1,000 years, actually be defeated? Or are the evil forces of Ahriman the devil too powerful? If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it or leave a review. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Shahnameh Quest.